One day, Lightning McQueen was out driving on the racetrack. It was like any other ordinary night, just practicing his drift solo on the 8-track. I wish I were as good in Mario Kart as I were in real life, McQueen thought to himself. As he lapped and lapped the finish line, his mind began to wander. He suddenly felt very sleepy and without noticing, he began to go off the track. When he noticed what was happening, it was already too late. Bam! Lightning McQueen crashed face first into the wall, just like Gary the Snail in the snail race. It was all dark, and in the flames of the crash, McQueen felt himself fade. "Oh no!" he moaned. "My paint job." His eyes began to close, when he saw a faint figure in the background coming towards him. "Who?" McQueen whispered before passing out. When Lightning McQueen woke up, he found himself in a bed inside a log cabin. "Where am I?" McQueen wondered. He looked down at his body. His wheels were fine. In fact, his entire body was fine. "Wow! It's almost like it was just a dream," McQueen exclaimed. From the shadows came a voice. But it wasn't. Lightning McQueen gasped and looked to his side. Sitting in the darkness with a cold expression was Pedro. "I saved you, Lightning. I dragged your flaming body out of the wreck and took you to my cabin in the woods," said Pedro. "Oh, thank you, Pedro. How can I ever repay you?" said McQueen. "I'll do anything." Pedro raised an eyebrow. "Anything?" he asked. Before Lightning McQueen knew what was happening, Pedro was on him faster than Ebola on an African baby. His cold, crusty lips slobbered all over McQueen's headlights, which were flashing on and off. "Oh Pedro, you're turning me on!" exclaimed McQueen. This is my house," grunted Pedro. "You're in my house, and soon Pedro is gonna be in your house." Lightning McQueen giggled like a schoolgirl. "Oh, you're so naughty, Pedro." It was hard for McQueen to undress Pedro because his hands were wheels, so Pedro did it himself. Lightning found that more erotic anyways. "When was the last time you got an oil change?" asked Pedro seductively. "Oh, stuttered McQueen. "Truth is, I'm a virgin." Pedro pulled down his pants and showed McQueen his dwarf cock. "Ever seen one of these bad boys before?" Pedro asked. "Oh my, never that little!" McQueen yelled in excitement. Pedro opened up one of McQueen's holes and stuck a finger inside his fueling hole. "Oh," moaned McQueen. "I'm gonna use this as lube," said Pedro naughtily. He rubbed it all over his penis, and stuck it inside McQueen's exhaust pipe. "Oh, not there!" shouted McQueen. "Shh, trust me, I know what I'm doing," reassured Pedro. After enough pounding, Lightning McQueen urged Pedro to switch positions. "Pedro, I want to fuck you," yelled McQueen. "Fine by me," smiled Pedro. Pedro got into the doggy-style position and spread his anus apart like goatsy. McQueen tried to think of a witty line before penetrating his lover. My engine isn't the only part of me that's powered like 1,000 horses," said McQueen in his most seductive tone. Upon hearing that, Pedro ejaculated prematurely. "Oh, say that again," moaned Pedro. McQueen repeated himself, and then put his car penis in Pedro. The car on man intercourse made Pedro shriek. It was of intense ecstasy, the likes of which he had never experienced before. Vroom. Vroom vroom. McQueen vroomed. His rhythmic pumping was in tune to the Seinfeld opening theme song. Tonight, Pedro and McQueen shared something incredibly special. The end.